Let's get weird, buddy. Let's get weird.
Guys, where are we?
Well, if there's a bright center to the universe, you're on the planet that it's farthest from.
Welcome to the Outer Rim. Enjoy your stay.
Here come the heroes to save the world from destruction. They are X-Men.
Previously on X-Men.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun, and we're back talking more comics. More specifically, we're talking Wolverine comics. More specifically, we're talking about comic books that are also Deadpool books. We've been covering Wolverine on the channel pretty regularly over the past year. Now, let's not call it regular. Let's say that most of the comic stuff that I've done in the past year involves Wolverine in some fashion. And we were also doing Deadpool, Wolverine, World War III, or Wade Wilson III. And we didn't finish that, but I did finally get the third issue of that. So that's coming. But in the meantime, Deadpool, Wolverine, let's call it that. Deadpool Wolverine by Ben Percy, Josh Cassara, and Guru EFX are back on the scene. I don't have to tell anybody this. This is a huge book, man. This is a massive book. And it probably is looked down upon a little bit as just like, hey, if you're not that familiar with comic books, it's just another thing. Or you might think it's just another tie-in if you're not looking at who's behind it. But when you know that it's Percy writing it, who's done the best Wolverine work in years, when you've got also, to me, the best writer of Deadpool in years, then you've got Josh Cassara, who has been, like, I think he was probably the best artist working in the for the Krakoan age stuff. I think his work on both X-Force and X-Men really was the best art that I'd seen. And I'm looking at it like, because I really didn't like New Mutants as much as I liked Rod Reese's art for New Mutants. And I really liked the art for Immortal X-Men too. But Cassara's art was just this high water mark, and with Guru EFX' colors and everything, it's just, there's a unique stamp that was put all over the Krakoan age. You always knew when these guys were working together. You always knew when one of these people was working on somebody else's book. It's just significant stamps by these three people, and put them all together and you've got magic. And that's what we have here to me, because I'm not looking to always have something to change the universe. And a lot of these books, like I said, would be these kind of contained character stories, kind of like Deadpool, Wolverine, Wade Wilson III is. Like, there's some really important character stuff going on in there, and it's plenty of things that they can reference for future books. But, it's still, I don't think was considered that big a deal last year, and I really think it should. I think everybody needs to go back and look at that series because it's really good. The way the story's told and written and drawn and everything is great. But this, as much as I always am, I'm like, this is guaranteed banger. But I was still like nervous that I was not gonna like this book because it's not just gonna be like this. Like, I don't think it's necessarily a mini series. I don't know how long it's going, how long all three of these gentlemen will be involved with this book. I mean, I'm at least involved till unless they leave. And if Percy leaves, I'd probably leave the book. If Cassara left, I might leave the book. It's one of those kind of things. But I also want to do something a little different. We usually wait till the end to read the book, but I think what I'm going to do is like, because this is like, I say it's a review, but it's also let's read comics. And it kind of makes sense that I should probably read the book up front with everybody and then talk about how I feel instead of recapping it and then reading the story. It doesn't really, I kind of feel like I'm going backwards with these a little bit. So still working and tweaking on how I talk about comics, how I make content all the time. I'm always working and tweaking. And so, like with those three things, right? We've also got those three people involved. We've also got a story that I think is really unique and does have definite potential to be a big thing. Like the description was like, is always like they're gonna stop something that could, end the world, right? But that's every comic potentially. Any issue of comic can have a comet coming to squash the planet, or somebody is going to just erase us from history or whatever. It's every comic book issue panel has the potential to change the universe. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to deliver on something that's worth picking up, especially if you're like a completionist or you like to have stories that tie into other stories. Because like I'm reading the TVA right now, and I'm like realizing that for me personally, to truly understand the TVA, not just having to have seen like Loki season 1 and 2, but I also feel like I got to go back and read Gwen Spider to find out how she's tied into that book. And that is a lot to ask. They do tell you kind of like where she came from, but my brain's going to be like, nah, I'm going to read it. So I'm going to go track those down. But this, you don't need all that. And so without further ado, man, because I just want to get into it, because this has a lot of everything that I say was good about the Krakoan age is in this book, meaning the creators involved continuing these characters that feel like they're from that age still. Because right now I'm a little on the fence about how I feel about the direction of X-Men and X-Men related stuff. I have to admit, I stopped putting Uncanny X-Men and X-Men and X-Force and Exceptional X-Men and they're not in my pull list anymore. Wolverine's still in my pull list because it's Wolverine, and this is in my pull list because it's Deadpool Wolverine and written by Percy and Cassara and Guru. So you know what I'm saying. But this, on the other hand, at least this, after reading this, my first impression before I like review it after the reading is that this is the book. If you're looking to read something X related and you're a little frustrated and you maybe just read the trades later on or something like that, or come back and pick it up later, Deadpool Wolverine's the book not to be missed right now, I think, as far as mutant books goes. So without further ado, why don't we just jump into Deadpool Wolverine #1. Okay. So we're on my Kindle as usual. As we look at this, I love this. I mean, come on, right off the bat, this is how Cassara introduces our characters with bullet holes all in them. Cause this is all I needed. This is the one. I love this. I want this on a T-shirt. I want this on a poster. I love this poster. This art. It's gonna just get better, folks. And a Greg Hildenbrandt. Another. Man, we've been losing a lot of comic people lately, man. This is sad. Record storage facility. Shield. Level 4. Security clearance. Andy, did we get assigned this job because somebody hates us or because we're incompetent? Or is it both? Because this is punishment. This is going to take us literally 100 million years. I thought when I enlisted with one, I'd be, I don't know, doing cool stuff. Kicking down doors and cracking skulls and the like. Not doing an inventory of mutie records at an old musty shield warehouse. Office of National Emergency. These are basically the people that, insert mutant hating group here as it evolves over time. They're probably going to go back to like the Friends of Humanity and stuff like that, like eventually. But here we have our new updated mutie haters. And they're inside the what looks like the Raiders of the Lost Ark warehouse, looking for something top secret. You know what I mean, Andy? Shut the fuck up, Sean, and help me with this. What do you think it is, Andy? That's concrete, isn't it? Why would you wrap chains around concrete? Once again, Sean, shut the fuck up and help me with this. Maybe we should radio this in. Make sure it's okay. They wanted us to catalog everything. That's what we're gonna do. I want to see the good shit. Chains, concrete, now steel? That's not steel. It's adamantium. Adamantium chest with a deep freeze inside, looks like. Now, the only thing I'd ask is, how does this guy know it's adamantium? Who is this guy? Why would he know that? Is he just a really well-informed henchman? Maybe you shouldn't. You said you wanted a little excitement. Zzz. Whatever's in here must be important. We'll probably get a promotion out of it. Yeah, you know, maybe they accept promotions in hell. Andy! Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, please. Deadpool, Wolverine, writer Benjamin Percy, color artist Guru EFX, cover artist Joshua Cassara and Guru EFX, The Secret Lives. I love this. And that was just like, holy crap. Like, this is our just first little like cold open. I love it. The Secret Lives. Deadpool thinks he's BFFs with Wolverine. Wolverine thinks differently. Now, that is one thing that we should talk about real quick, is just how close these guys actually are without being that way. The Wolverine run and the X-Force run that Percy did had a arc kind of deep into the series where Wade finally proves himself worthy to Wolverine. And you should check it out. Maybe we'll talk about it on the channel. I'm sorry for your loss, Northern Minnesota. We will all miss Sven Sundgaard. So we got ourselves a funeral for some Nordic gentlemen. We all miss Sven indeed. He was such a handsome man. Look at those teeth, baby, those choppers. Pow! My condolences. Sorry, not sorry to interrupt the Nordic mob festivities. As you all know, this was a very, very bad man, so you really shouldn't waste any tissues on him anyway. He used to bite off the fingers and toes and ears and noses and more, so much more, of his enemies with those lovely teeth of his. His choppers were built from the melted down and reforged sword of legendary Viking Eric the Red. There's a black market collector who's willing to pay a pretty penny for them. And your old pal Deadpool really needs the funds. So, no hard feelings, right? So he's robbing a funeral for some guy's teeth. I know this is your ride, but mind if I drive? Sit back and relax. Maybe crack the window so there's less death smells. Your formaldehyde cologne is a bit much. Geez, what did I ever do to you guys besides steal your family patriarch's corpse? Did I lose them, Sven? I think I lost them. I definitely lost them. Oh shit, it's Toots is the driving cat. Uh-oh. Ah! A sea burial it is. Well, Teeth, what do you say we... So, right out the gate, crashes a funeral for a Nordic mafia funeral, mobster, whatever, to steal the man's teeth of a man who did terrible things to people. Then that guy ended up in the top of the blades of a helicopter. So, but something happened to Wade. Something seemed to turn on in his head. Canada. Grab him. He's a fucking mutant. Please, I don't know what he's talking about. We was playing darts and they moved in the air. That's what darts do, you ox. They move in the air. You're trying to cheat $50 off me. You were controlling it with your mind or something, moving the metal. Hold him down. Let's play another game. This time, instead of $50, it's your life on the line, mutie. Snicked. He ain't the only one who's got away with metal. You made me spill my beer. Ain't you going to offer to buy me another round? What did you go and do that for, Wade? Things were just getting interesting. It's time. The mission awaits. The skies over South Dakota. Wade Wilson never shuts up. Now he barely says a word. Wade Wilson has the attention span of a toddler who ate their weight in sugar. Now he seems as coldly calculating as a robot. Something's wrong. Real wrong. And I'm here to find out what. He had this single-engine plane waiting for us at a nearby airfield. He wouldn't tell me where we were going, what he was up to. The only way to find out is to follow along. Until following along's not possible. Wade, listen to me. Whatever you think your orders are, they're wrong. I'm taking over. This plane's hold is packed with C4. We will impact in 2 minutes. That ain't happening. We do not have time to discuss this. Right. We will continue this conversation later. See you on the ground. So he doesn't seem to want to hurt him, except he's being pushed into it. But who's pushing him into it? Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, can you see the movie already, folks? 1 hour later, a body full of bullets. I mean, look at this shit. 2 hours later, a fall from a few thousand feet. Healing factors getting a workout. 3 hours later, I had tried to be patient with Wade, and it had cost me and shit knows how many others. I collected your body, hijacked an RV, and now, Boot Hill Deadwood, we are exactly where we are supposed to be. What have you done, Wade? You set off a fucking nuclear meltdown? That's more than murder. Your brain injury must have left you confused. As you know, Jackson County, South Dakota, the site of the power plant, has a population of 2,000. Very few would have been immediately affected. The goal, again, as you know, was the emergency evacuation of the larger Badlands area. Deadwood is now empty. Sturgis is now empty. Rapid City is now empty. 500 square miles are empty. This is as we planned. This is the beginning. Now look at this. There's a grave here that says James Howlett and Wade Wilson. What the fuck? Of the end. Positive identification. Wade Wilson, executioner. Executioner. The way that's spelled is significant because of the executioner song story that involved a certain somebody in the 90s. Hey, Wade, going to need an assist on the stairs. Give me a hand, would you? Snicked. I'm not sure what the fuck is going on here. But I figure it out. You owe me some pain. I snacked. Squish for an eye. Deadpool was on autopilot. Something's controlling him. Nanites is my guess. His veins must be swimming with them. Now that I've cut him, I can smell the stink of silicon. And the burnt ozone of an old computer. X mentions. Skip past this. Executioner. That's what the system identified him as. We got two suits. One that definitely looks like for Wolverine and has a visor. Kind of makes me think of Weapon X program. But this is obviously for both of them. That's a word I thought was dead and buried. Legacy Reborn. So, little history lesson for everybody that after the Executioner song, there was a little guy named Strife who released a thing called the Legacy Virus, which was to kill all mutants. And here, Wolverine's holding something that says Legacy Reborn. That story is about 30 years old. My head is killing me. What happened? Did I drink too much Snapple and do something regrettable again? Where are we? Is this your sex dungeon? I'm glad you're feeling like yourself again, but then I'd be lying. Ooh, check out the Leather Daddy costume. What do you think? It smells a bit musty, but there don't seem to be any holes in my continuity. Tink, 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 tink. Da-doom. Don't move. Snicked. Wait, hold your fire. Logan? I know that voice. Fucking Maverick. Who has been in also a lot of stories lately with Wolverine because of their history. But he was in Wolverine's book and X-Force a lot in the Krakoan Age. I liked that. What the hell are you doing here? One recruited me for their field ops, gave me a discretionary fund, put me in charge of a team. You're a mutant working for the agency that's policing mutants. That's fucking classic. No, that's fucking smart. Now listen up. Something of ours apparently got loose. Something bad. something that's been under lock and key for a long time. We've been running nationwide scans, and the energy signature of this place matches. Whoosh! Eliminate the interlopers. Then suit up and collect the specimens. We'll go from here to the rendezvous point. Wade, wake up! Whatever's got hold of you, you've got to fight back. You are no longer an executioner. Flap! Wade, no! Come back! The Badlands. There are more fossils here than living things. We've been waiting a long time for this, haven't we? A long, long time. The plan is now in motion. Strife, the time of the executioner, is upon us. To be continued, as we see that the bad guy in question so far, who had Legacy Reborn in his facility that had them two guys. Now, why he wasn't able to control Wolverine and not Deadpool, I do not know. But we will be finding out in Deadpool Wolverine #2, another great cover. Now, as we get back to this. Okay, so now for the thoughts on all of this. All right, so first off, excellent way you start a book. Excellent way that you start a mental movie going on in my head. You start out with the cold opening. You start out with who the villains are that are releasing it. So we know it's the muty haters of o.n.e, unleashing something that is really not supposed to be let out, of course, because it's a disaster story, and you can't have a disaster story without something that would cause a disaster. Now, is it Strife that's in that thing? I'm not so sure. Because, and if anybody that knows anything about the lore so far, is that Strife was left in, I believe, the past, like the ancient past, I think, like the dawn of man or something, I think, in Marauders. I stopped reading Marauders kind of late in the game there, so there's a gap in my X knowledge that I'll have to, research, but I wasn't going to do it for this. But the ties that Wolverine and Strife have go back freaking years, especially Deadpool and Strife. Very close relationship going back to the fucking beginning. And the nanites being a thing that I'm, not surprised that Wade would have inside him through o.n.e. So all that's good to go. Strife being back, that's just good stakes, and I think he is a bit of a red herring. I think the enemy of my enemy kind of situation we could be having. I don't feel it's going to be that straightforward. This is Ben Percy, who loves to mess with us, and I think that that's what we're going to have here. He's bad. He's going to do terrible things. It's Strife. It's Cable's fucking, like it's the anti-Cable. So what's going to happen there? I don't know, but I love that. The art, again, on point. The whole way that they drew the funeral scene was amazing. Fucking, you can just see the action just happening in front of you. You close your eyes, you look at those frames. They're just so beautiful. It's hilarious. It's a great, funny, silly way. That's the thing. Is like, this has got a story that is going to have reach, but it's also fun and silly and a comic book still, and having him robbing a Nordic mafia funeral to get the teeth of a very bad man who ends up like, going into propellers and everything. I mean, honestly, I think that that's a little tame, but still really fun and interesting. And again, 80s action kind of star. And, I don't miss those days. I'm glad that they existed, but they're a time capsule. And these kind of stories are those ways to appreciate those days without having to go, yeah, we need that call back all the time. But like, I would love to see this done that way because this is that kind of story. It's a nod to all that. And when we jump to Wolverine, right? Like, okay, first Deadpool being taken over by Strife, like I said, it's this is the only thing I don't like about this second book, that this has happened with Deadpool in a year. First, it was with the people in Deadpool, Wade Wilson III Wolverine story, where he wanted to, spoiler alert, like change himself, and it meant taking over, like, or losing parts. He was kind of not himself, and in this, here he is again being taken over. It's the only thing that I see that's like, I hope that's not something that continues to be flipped on and off for a really long time, and hopefully that part of this story can end as we jump forward. But Wolverine, again, Percy is aces at showing what this guy will put up with, putting another mutant in a situation, and it was also kind of a different situation. It's usually him who is the one being attacked and then goes on the defensive. He's coming to the defense of someone else. And Deadpool coming in very cold, calculated. He's all on point. And when Wade Wilson, if he's actually serious, is a deadly motherfucker. Okay, he's a deadly motherfucker when he's Deadpool, but when he's focused, he's even scarier. He was like, when he was a villain for about 5 seconds, he was deadly as fuck. And over the years, I mean, he's the one who shot Coulson. I mean, granted, he was tricked, but like, you know, he's been tricked before. He's that kind of character who gets to be the dupe. And a lot of times I think that his own emotions and desires to be liked and be a part of things makes him easily susceptible to things like that. If he was a D&D character, he'd be like easily controlled by charm and shit. But them teaming up, Wolverine again, also similar to a lot of these stories, though, are somebody else along for the ride, and Wolverine is basically trying to see where this is all going, and where it all goes is him getting kicked out of a freaking helicopter, splattered on the ground, and then finding the Strife suits and all that. But before they can, and I like the suits and the legacy stuff, so the legacy reborn stuff, what are we doing here? The legacy virus is back. Okay, I don't know what they're gonna do with this, but then Maverick shows up, who has been a pain in the ass for Wolverine. He has been back and forth. He was part of the whole auction house thing where everybody was trying to get pieces of Wolverine. So we've got him in the mix, and Deadpool, flying off to meet Strife in the desert, and where they're going with all this. It's going to be fucking awesome. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it, baby. And again, with the Strife stuff, the Executioner song, that was a really cool story. If you guys get a chance to like pick up the trade or read it online, Executioner's saga was Executioner's song. Actually, I got like a ton of them, man. I should give them away. It's like, yeah, I should do that. It's like, if we can get to 2,500 subscribers, man, I'll give like 3, like, because I have extras of like every single one of those issues. I'll give a set. I'll give a set to one of the commenters. Leave a comment in this, and if you're a new subscriber, subscribe and leave a comment. Right? This is for anybody who comments. But if you have to be a subscriber. So if you're a subscriber and you leave a comment, when we're done covering, like, let's say the first run of this, and we've gotten to 2,500 subs, I will pick the best comment, or I'll put everybody that commented on this video in a hat, and I'll pick it. I've done this a million times. And then you guys will win a set of Executioner songs issues. How about that? Yeah, I'm doing it. Fuck it. We're bringing back the old contest days. But we have to get to 2,500 subscribers, which means we have less than 100 subscribers to go. So this is dumb of me, but I'm doing it. I don't fucking care. So anyway, yeah, be a subscriber, leave a comment. If you like what we're doing here on the channel, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'm rushing through this one because I actually had some free time to record this, and I haven't done anything with myself all day, but here we are. So we are going to be back talking Deadpool Wolverine #2 when it comes out. But otherwise, look at the other comic book stuff if you're into comic book stuff on the channel. We just finished doing Predator versus Wolverine #1, Wolverine Deep Cut #1, and we did freaking I'm like trying to remember all the stuff that I've been doing on my channel. And then Wolverine Revenge #1. Now we're doing Deadpool Wolverine #1. And we're going to be talking about the TVA also on the channel. So for comic book stuff on this channel, you're covered. And also we'll be doing Severance Season 2 starting Friday. And look for the entire run of Severance episodes that we just finished the other day. So anyway, I'm just actually like overhyped now that I've been making this video and that it's actually done, and I'm super happy that it's there. That's why we're doing the contest. I gotta shut up because this is what happens when I don't know how to end an episode. So I'm taking a breath. See y'all on the next video, bubs. Bye. Let's fucking go. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.